Okay, in this enquiryMAX video we're going to show you how the BCA Dealer Pro integration works with enquiryMAX to create a much more smooth process without having to keep logging in and out of different systems, etc. So you can see I've got a customer there. Mr. British Auction is the customer name I've got in for this one. And we've put in a vehicle of GU64NZA. So I'm going to click onto the magnifying glass. Now, normally in enquiryMAX, you'll just get a VRM lookup and it will just return one vehicle, which is determined by the cap ID of the car. But obviously, we've chosen a Mini here to show a perfect example of how this integration is a lot more precise than just having the VRM lookup. So we now actually review the BCA lookup system. So you can see this is actually BCA data now coming back into enquiryMAX. So we're just going to click onto the Chile Media Pack XL because that's the vehicle that is coming in part exchange. And then down here we just need to put in the mileage. And I'll pop a service history in and odometer warranty as well I'm going to put in there. Okay, so once we've done all that, I'll then click save and then we're going to open the BCA system to get that linked up so we can see that vehicle now in BCA. Okay, so over to Simon for the BCA section.
So the enquiryMAX and BCA integration allows the vehicles to feed directly into the new BCA Dealer Pro app rather than the previous version where you had to go into the web and create the record for a second time. You can see along the bottom there is a scroll. If vehicles have fed through, they may appear in the scroll, or you can pop the reg into the box, and I'm going to tap Find Vehicle, and it brings up the Mini Cooper that was added. Now, we confirm the vehicle within Wi-Fi connectivity. We now have a completely disconnected app, so we can go out to the vehicle, we can appraise, we can image, we can open up, get the docs, etc., and work through the journey. Now, the process, it guides you along, but for the purposes of this demo, you can see the vehicle mileage is fed through as added from enquiryMAX. You can see the basic questions. Has the vehicle ever had an odometer change? Does the vehicle have a V5 document? We can record numbers of keepers, numbers of keys, first registered in the UK, and for example, has the vehicle been an insurance write-off? For the purpose of this, hopefully not. Click next. Service history information can be added. I'm going to say the vehicle's got a book with stamps and main dealer stamps, and we can record MOT expiry data too. Click next step. Now you can see here that the ghosted recommended images display. For the purposes of this, I'm just going to take a quick photograph of the picture on the wall. Oh, excuse my thumb in the way. And we are going to assume that this is the offside front three-quarter. I'll take the photograph, confirm I'm happy. Now there are 3 mandatory images that you have to take of the 8 displayed. I'm just going to move through the journey. So I'm happy, and I'm going to click Review Images. Now, just as a little feature, image number 8, take a photograph of the odometer. When we've taken the picture, it's going to ask us, are we happy that the mileage is correct? Now, 45654 fed through from enquiryMAX. I'm going to edit that because obviously that will affect the valuation returned. And click Save. Happy with that. You can see the images are stored in the app. I'm going to move through to Cosmetic Condition. There is an exterior and interior tab too. If we tap on any of the areas, it takes us to the most commonly chosen area and the most commonly chosen damage options, where we can add damage to the appraisal. We can take a damage shot if required and add that to the appraisal diagram. Excuse my photography. Click Confirm. Any area that we tap that the damage that we're looking for isn't immediately listed, we can add something different. Let's say in this case it's the aerial's broken. That can always be added separately, and we click Confirm. And as I mentioned, there's an interior tab as well where you record pet odour, smoke odour for example. We'll click Next Step. Finally, if it's safe to do so, we can test drive the vehicle. Yes, we've test driven it, and then we can answer the basic questions regarding engine and the electrics and the mechanics on that vehicle. And you can see that the vehicle was published to BCA via enquiryMAX, just recorded in the notes, and the pet odour and smoke odour that we added is also confirmed. We'll click Finish Appraisal, and that information will then sync back to the BCA Dealer Pro webpage. Now, if we refresh BCA Dealer Pro Web, we can see that our appraisal has fed through to the BCA Dealer Pro system. If I click on the records, GU64NZA, we can see our beauty shots have fed through to the screen. All of the information we've added in terms of documentation is available. If we scroll down to the bottom, we can see our mechanical appraisal has been recorded with any notes. We can see that the appraisal that we completed on the app has fed through to the BCA webpage, and any damage shots that we've taken are available if you tap on the little red circle. And in the top right hand panel, we can see valuation data has fed through. And that valuation data also feeds back to enquiryMAX, who will display this.
Okay, so I'm now logged in as a manager, so I'm just going to go into the customer that we've loaded, Mr. British Auction. Okay, so we've got the part exchanges there, so I'm going to click onto the customer's vehicle appraisal. You can see the images that were taken on the BCA Dealer Pro app are now fed back into enquiryMAX. We've also got the valuation page as well, which then shows me the BCA grade 1 and the not graded value as well. So you can see that that's a really streamlined process without having to go in and out of many different systems. The link works really well, and obviously the BCA app is a very intuitive system as well, so it's quite an easy one to use. But this video will hopefully help to understand exactly the process you should be taking between enquiryMAX, loading the part exchange, creating the appraisal, and then coming back into enquiryMAX to price the car. Many thanks for your time.